What's up, everybody? This is Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock. I am sitting with the director and star of the film Live Cargo. Guys, thanks so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First question I gotta ask, if you had to be stuck in the middle of a turf war on an island, who's that one person that you would want with you?
I'd have to go with Doughboy. Honestly, he knows, he's kind of like the true spirit of the island, like the current island. Bob's character was kind of like the old school way, and he's kind of like the new movement out there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. That's a difficult question. I think I would say Robert Wisdom's character, actually.
Right. Yeah.
Just because he, kind of has this control over the island, and since he is kind of from the old school, he has this respect from everyone on the island, and kind of has an authority.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, can you just define the film in your own words for the audience?
It's a film about loss, personal loss. It's very personal. Each character deals with their own sort of loss and how they cope and deal with that loss individually. I'd probably say, like, in a nutshell, it's just really dealing with loss and just overcoming that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of view the film as this Caribbean daydream turned nightmare, that has real life implications of what's actually happening politically down there, and kind of the current social air of what it is like being on the island. Yeah.
All right. It was shot in black and white, which I thought was a really interesting choice, because a lot of times you think about islands, like you think about the color, the blue water. So what was the decision in terms of making it black and white? I have my own conclusions, but I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, that was, one of the reasons why we decided to go black and white, because the power of the colors down there is almost, it's too overwhelming,
It's distracting.
It's a little distracting, and people, when they're, when you're walking around, they're just always oohing and ahhing at the different colors, and we wanted the audience to really focus on the characters and the story. And I think making it black and white, first and foremost, allows the audience to really focus in on the characters.
Yeah. Sam, can you talk to us a little bit about your character, and what was it like getting into that role? Because honestly, he's like the guy that like is the creeper kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to play that in such a believable way.
Yeah, Myron is definitely very confused, very quiet, almost like puppy dog-ish, very stand back, likes to observe, and just a little bit of preparation for that. Logan pretty much just released me on the island, and he said, just go spend some time alone. Go to old bombed out buildings, go eat with the locals, go hang out at the beach, go swim. I went diving, snorkeling, all kinds of stuff like that out there. So really just being on the island and living as Myron would live.
Yeah.
Really just...
Yeah, we spent a lot of time just...
sitting quietly.
Yeah, just sitting quietly together, going into different spaces, and just kind of allowing him to kind of soak up the environment, and then really just informed him well of not only the character, but kind of the location as well, because it's so important for his character. I think his character, very specifically, like, can only be found on that that island.
And he's very familiar. He's very familiar with the land too. He kind of runs his own little world. He knows where he's going. He knows where to get food. He knows where to make money. He knows where to get work. It's there's just a lot of time just existing and really just trying to live out that role. Really just trying to really feel it, make it real.
I think that was even one of the lines. It was like, how long have you been here? And he's like, long enough.
Too long.
Yeah. All right, so one of the things that I really enjoyed, it was the score was just like another character in the film, because there was so little dialogue, but the frame was able to really tell you what was going on. Honestly, I thought it was beautifully shot. In so many different frames, it was just like a photo, like how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and it was in this sense. So can you guys talk a little bit about the framing and like how you use the camera work?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the filmmakers that I'm inspired by, they're able to tell their stories without, lots of dialogue and, for me, I'm interested in the moments, these quieter, silent moments in which we can learn about individuals and what they're going through in that moment. And I think being down there as well, it's just so beautiful, and it's really an opportunity to kind of create this almost visual essay of what that time and place was. You know, it's like this. I think of it as this record of when we were down there. And then to speak on the score as well, you know, we worked with composers named the Blair Brothers. They did Blue Ruin and
Yeah, love that.
Green Room, and you know, working with them was really So they're very very talented duo down in Philadelphia, and we worked 9 or 10 months on the score, really trying to hammer it home and get it perfect. So I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cool because each character had their own sound and their own.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really nice attention to detail.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the idea, that each character had their own certain tones and sounds that, you know, with the growing repetition throughout the film, just kind of dramatically enhances, bringing us to the end.
Yeah.
And I thought it tied in really nicely with the black and white too. It was almost like noir, you know, with the strings and the black and white and just the looks, a lot of movement, almost like a dance, you know.
Right. And it kind of was like, after a while, it becomes like an investigation as to who, you know, where's the boat, and like you said, it feels like a noir, and at the end, kind of wrapping everything up how it wraps up. So one thing I really loved, just visually, like, was it just by chance, like all the thunderstorms? Because like in the background, like that was so beautiful to see the lightning strike and.
Well, we shot during hurricane season.
Oh my God.
Intentionally, as you know, because I felt to really tell the story of those islands, it's so important to include weather, you know, because it's ever changing, and the climate really plays an important part to everyday life there. So yeah, we would have like literally a Doppler radar out, and we would see the storms coming, and we knew that there was a certain distance that you could shoot for a certain amount of minutes before it got too close. So yeah, we did consciously try to capture
and
those
we just hit the jackpot on the one scene with Doughboy and I. It was just perfect. It was just it just happened. It was just perfect.
Yeah.
Around the fireplace, it was awesome. Or the fire.
I remember that night. It wasn't too bad at first, but then it started. We were kind of preparing for other shots or something, and then it started lightning. It was like, quick, get the camera out. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just perfect.
No, I think. I think we actually shot that scene over 2 days, and we were lucky enough that both times we shot it, there was like a thunderstorm in the distance coming towards us. So I guess we had the universe on our side, kind of, you know.
All right, so the title is Live Cargo, and that's something that the film obviously touches on. I guess each character kind of has their different way of dealing with it, and as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, what's the price of a life, right? So the couple is dealing with, you know, losing their child, and then here it's like money for kind of your character, the come up. Exactly, exactly. So let's just talk about that tie-in to the film and what that means to you guys.
I think Myron, he was, the price of a life to him was a Rolex, and he really was getting this Rolex to, you know, impress Nadine, because he fell in love with her. And on the island, you see that sort of thing. You know, everyone has their like item, their one thing, whether it's J's, whether it's Rolex, whether it's this or that. It's like the sort of like like clothing and style and fashion and like swag out there is like a big deal, because they have to get everything from the States. So if someone has something like that, you know, in their head, they're a big deal. So I think he was just trying to really like almost sort of flex and like really get the attention of Nadine. Just with the Rolex in his head, I think that was how he was going to get the girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah, no, for me, Live Cargo, you know, it's not only just the people being trafficked on a boat, but it's also kind of representative of the baby that Dree lost. And then also all of these characters kind of are carrying around this baggage of emotion that is alive within them. So,
and Myron could even be seen as like Live Cargo too. You know, he was taken over there and he was left, so it's kind of ties into that as well. You know,
Yeah.
almost like an item. You know.
Yeah, Yeah, most definitely. All right, so what's the reception been so far, and what's the one thing that you hope audiences take away from the film?
The reception's been really great so far. You
Mm-hmm.
know, everyone's really enjoyed the movie, and it seems like you're understanding a lot of the things that we intended. So, yeah, I think that's I think we're excited for what's going to happen, and people obviously really love Sam's role. You know, he did a great job. So,
I think something to take away from the film is, you know, just like you never just truly know what people are going through, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they are out there on vacation, seemingly. And to anybody else, they're out on vacation having a fun time. But you know, there's just so much going on. And with every character, you know, they're out on the island, and it seems like everything is great and life is simple. But you know, just I don't know, everyone's dealing with their own personal thing. You know.
Right, right.
So I think it's really important just to be aware of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, we're going to geek out after we stop tape, but congratulations, guys. Excellent film.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sitting down
Thanks for
and talking
having
with
us.
me.
thank you.
Appreciate it.